Welcome to Communion at Church of the Beatitudes. I would like to talk to you for just a moment about the mechanics of it because this is going to be weird, at least, if not downright awkward. We're used to being served, invited by the pastor, and served by each other. And it's going to be unusual to do it in a very small group or even to yourself. We just want you to follow along with the video and take the steps as we introduce the elements. But I wanted to share you a little story first from my own personal experience when I was a hospital chaplain. I had a patient ask me to serve him communion, and it was 8 o'clock at night, and the cafeteria was closed, and I was completely unprepared. So I went to the vending machines, and after eliminating the Cheetos, the Fritos, and the potato chips, I settled on some cheese crackers and then went to the drink machine, which was not quite as well stocked, but I eliminated Diet Coke and Orange Crush in favor of a cranberry juice cocktail. And I took them back to my patient's room, and after we had a good chuckle, I served him communion, and it worked because the Spirit was there. So I just want to remind you that the invitation comes from God. It's not the pastor or the church building or even the words that make this a sacred, holy moment. What makes it sacred is your remembering and your prayer as you participate. So I ask you to just take a moment now and go to your kitchen cupboard if you haven't already done so, or your pantry, and find elements that work for you. It can be, you more than likely have bread on hand, but if not, saltines or potato chips work. If you don't have wine or grape juice, water will suffice. And I think my personal favorite communion could possibly be needed to be tried out, and that would be coffee and a scone, but we'll save that for some later date. Just know that whatever the content of your elements, the substance of communion is the same because the Spirit is there. God will be in the middle of it.
Today we're gathering for communion not by physical presence, but by a screen. We are in the midst of a pandemic that forces us to physically separate ourselves from one another. Even families find this to be true when members need to protect each other by isolating themselves. We experience the loss of affection and intimacy. Loneliness penetrates our hearts, and the longing to reconnect with our loved ones and friends haunts us. We come then to the table where Jesus began to say goodbye to his closest friends. He chose the table as a gathering place, knowing that they would be there at table after he was gone to celebrate their connection with one another and with him. That is also our purpose today, to gather to remember him and to celebrate the connection we have with one another in his name. Jesus chose bread, the basic substance of life for his people, to remind us that life is always possible where there is community. Though we are separated today, we are still in community as long as we remember Jesus' call for us to all be one. May this bread then reunite us, though apart, in him and in his love. And Jesus also took the cup, and he gave thanks for it, for in it was life. And he gave it to them to share with one another. And so, in like manner, we offer to you this cup in whatever form you have to take it today, seeing and feeling in it the life that Christ gives us as we share at his table.